Hey, Mr. Hall here with the index of Greek inventions and discoveries. It's an index because it's from Wikipedia. Here's a quick shout out. Like, what is Wikipedia? Is this a source that we can trust? Technically, it's not a source. It is a compilation. It's almost like a blockchain of information, and it's very trustworthy. And if you're ever distrusting of some of the information, you can look to see who's been editing it, who's been changing it. And it's not really true that anybody can edit Wikipedia. It has to be members of Wikipedia. They have to be trusted sources, and they have to reference their evidence. And then other people will essentially blockchain it because they're going to be looking to see, was the recent change. They're going to get alerted that there was a change, and they're going to say, well, is this a credible source or not? So Wikipedia is very reliable now. It's the most accurate index of many, many, many topics. And less popular topics that have fewer references could be less accurate. But when we've got, nearly 100 ways to back up some of these different, like souvlaki, meat on a stick served with pita. I've had this in Greece. It's kind of like a pita bread. I mean, it's like a gyro. It's just served differently. And they have traced this back to the 17th century BC, where they were cooking it over hot coals. And so, what are the sources on this? Well, I'm saying for this project, you don't really need to worry about them, but they do have, some museums, some experts that would have put this in a museum, and now they're putting it on Wikipedia. And that's kind of cool that, one of the earliest developments was shish kebab cooked over coals, an efficient way to have street food. What else do we have? Well, just go through the article. Now, this index listing, there's the Olympic Games. We've got a variety of surgical instruments, and you could go into depth by researching some of those things. The designing of maps and understanding of democracy. There's a lot of people. So this index, this is only that you can go into very specific things by exploring a topic that is interesting to you. And was the Diolkos really like a railway or kind of the beginning of it? And there's an ancient picture. We had seen that in class. Calipers, the theater, truss roofs, crane, democracy. So that's a big one. That's what really brought us here, isn't it? A huge one. Spiral staircase, winches, showers, streets, catapults, central heating, lead sheathing, astrolabe, canal locks, the ancient Suez Canal, escapement, Archimedes screw, lighthouses, water wheel, alarm clocks, odometers, chain drives, levers, water mills, gimbals, the three-masted ship, fore and aft rig on ships, air and water pumps, which kind of like the Archimedes screw, surveying tools to measure land, analog computers, differential gears, fire hose, vending machines, first century BC. All right, we're about to hit the cutoff point on what you would be allowed to select and study for ancient Greeks, because really by the time you get to the first century BC, you're getting into the Roman times. And there are still Greeks and Greek cities and Greek influence and Greek libraries, but now it would qualify as a Roman time period. So I'm going to cut you off before you get to the steam engine. What? They had a steam engine? They did. But it was literally so expensive to make the steam engine back there. Hero of Alexandria is like, yeah, you're crazy to make a steam engine when you could just buy a bunch of horses. Horses are way cheaper to feed. So that's where we're going to cut off this project, is to do it before the steam engine and preferably before the first century. So let's cut off at vending machines. But this article, we're only halfway through. So the continuation of this shows you the impact of the Greeks. And this is just one of many indexes to get you started on picking some of the greatness, the excellence of ancient Greeks with their inventions, discoveries, and advancements of the world. Now, this video does not include some of the things related to math and science and language and story, so that should be covered in a different source. But here, at least you've got some of the really cool inventions that have impacted the world, as Greece has an enduring legacy to help all of the world